Welcome back to another episode of the Eager to Please podcast. And if you're just joining us, we're in the midst of talking about the art of avoidance. You know what I mean, the conscious and sometimes unconscious action of steering clear of difficult situations, uncomfortable emotions, or tasks that require mental effort. I read in an article from Psych Central that there are various types of avoidance behaviors. Interesting, I know, because I thought avoiding something just meant avoiding it. But there's actually an emotional well-being and psychological aspect to it. I know for myself, this shows up situationally, cognitively, and as a protective mechanism. Let me define those a little bit more for you. Situation avoidance is when you avoid certain types of situations. For me, I tend to withdraw from social settings and become a hermit in my house when I don't feel like interacting with people. Maybe it's because my zodiac sign is Cancer. Who knows? But there may be something to that. Cognitive avoidance is about avoiding internal situations such as unpleasant or distressing thoughts or memories. It can often show up as trying to numb your feelings or manifest as worry and rumination. Protective avoidance refers to the use of excessive safety behaviors like obsessive compulsiveness or perfectionism, or at the other end of the spectrum, it can show up as procrastination, and I am definitely guilty of that. There are others that might be worth your time looking into, but those few I feel paint a pretty good picture. I don't know about you, but Sundays are generally crazy at our house, not for any particular reason, other than the fact that they're transition days, which means my kids swap from one parent's house to the other. This particular week, my mom happened to be visiting. I had just gotten back from dropping my girls off at their dad's house, and she walks into the kitchen as I come fumbling into the house, exhausted from the chaos that had just occurred. She pulls up a chair, sits in it, and says to me, "Can I say something to you without you getting defensive? I've made an observation." And I'm like, okay. She proceeds to tell me that she noticed 2 to 3 hours before my kids had to pack up for their dads, I disappeared, mentally and emotionally. She said, "You were here physically, but you weren't really present." She called me out on going outside to pull weeds and trim my hedges instead of making sure the girls had everything they needed to get ready in order to leave me for the week. And I'm like, "Mom, we've been doing this for almost 2 years. The girls don't need me to watch over their shoulders as they're doing their laundry and cleaning their rooms. They know what's expected of them." And she chimes in and says, "Yeah, I get that, but I'm wondering if you're keeping yourself busy doing other things because deep down you're upset that they're leaving you." And of course my response to her was, "Mom, I think you're reading too much into it, okay? I have stuff to do too, and I can't be hovering over them like babies anymore. They're big enough to know what they need to do." And then I asked her to drop it. But then I got to thinking, because I'm always analyzing and replaying conversations of what other people say to me. What if she was right? What if I do keep myself busy for the last few hours of their time with me because I don't want to think about the fact that my kids have to leave me? What if maybe I'm missing the bigger picture, that by keeping myself busy, I'm missing out on those hours that I could be spending with them, rather than doing chores that probably could wait for another day or so when they're not here? Whether that's the case or not, I defer back to the song I wrote with Steve on this very topic, Stay Busy. Maybe it's time I took another long listen to what this song is saying and start taking my own advice, instead of running from the fact that we're in this situation to begin with. Maybe it's time I let go of what happened in the past and focus on building a more positive, happy life forward. Easier said than done most times, but that's the only way to move past the painful reminder that they have to leave every other Sunday. I know I have some work to do in that area, but I'm curious what it is you're avoiding that you're going to try and work on this week. Drop me a note and let me know, and I'll see you back here next week for our next episode and special guest. I'll see you then.